Why don't you give me some? Ah, the Mississippi runs.
Oh, and you got a camera on yourself too.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a little weird to have you not in the shot. So
I
that's
thought
good
so
to
too.
know.
Yeah. So first off, welcome to Camp Raincloud, folks. I love you all. I'm really happy you're here. Obviously, it's fucking cool as shit. Tell me who you are.
So hot.
It's hot. Yeah.
I wish there was a rain cloud.
No kidding. We thought there'd be one.
Right? Who are we?
Who are we? Well, he and I are Pine and Fire. He's Jobi. I'm Brandi.
That's us.
Who are you?
I'm Les Blackwell. Hello.
Can they hear you?
Yeah, I'm Les Blackwell.
Where you come from, Les?
Oh, I'm from Dalton, Georgia. I am 30 years young.
Oh shit.
So what, if anything, was the moment you knew you wanted to do music? Anybody can take the question, top of the head, discuss.
I don't know. I feel like I was thinking about it as a relatively young child, but not in like a realistic way. I was like, oh, that'd be cool. But here we are.
Sure.
Same. I think as a young child, I thought and wanted to be a musician, and then I strayed from it for years. And it probably wasn't until about 2020 when I was like,
We started Pine and Fire in 2019.
I know, and I thought it was going to be a fun little side thing. At that time, I didn't believe in myself or us, mostly myself. I believed in you.
Oh,
But I didn't
thanks.
but I didn't believe in myself enough to think this would be what it is until probably 2020 when we lost our kitchen jobs and made a project. And
Thanks,
I was like,
COVID.
shit, we could do this. You know?
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11 or so when I got my first guitar. And I really liked it. I'd always drawn. I'd always done like artistic stuff. But I wrote my first song when I was 14. And that was such a like cathartic release for me that I just never really stopped. So since 14, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do anything else.
So it seems like you all kind of answered my next question, which was what took it to the next level? What really made you realize that you were gonna do it? Sounds like a pretty visceral experience that brought you something that came from the soul, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And once we did get into it in a serious way, once I did start being like, oh, I could do this, it felt like I'd come full circle from my childhood. I was like, oh, like something in me knew this is what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I just got lost for a little while. And now I'm back.
I kind of figured I'd just be like the drummer in the back or something. Like hardly being seen, just doing my thing in the back. But now we're doing this as a duo. So we're kind of both up front.
Yeah.
But that's fine. It's been going well.
So, yeah. So, versus the drummer in the back and what you are today, what kind of things does a musician do that most people don't think about? Because I think I can speak for a lot of folks that when we're young, we think we just want to stand up there and play guitar, be on the stage, What are the pieces of the job that go unseen?
Well, I mean, we do everything DIY, so there's a lot of things that go unseen, like all the making of the shirts, all the recording, mixing and mastering, all the booking, all the administration and social media work. Like there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that isn't inherent to being a musician, but it's probable in this day where you just kind of got to DIY until you're big enough to not.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, you got to be able to market.
Which we
Gotta be able
don't.
to. We're bad at marketing ourselves, but you've got to be a marketing minded, and you've got to be a booking agent and a social media manager and
Yeah.
a songwriter and a car driver.
Yeah, a lot of driving. There's some things that we're getting ready to hand off, like maybe not making our own shirts anymore, hopefully getting a booking agent, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yeah.
Les, I want to hear from your end on this question. What does your side of the scene look like?
My side of the scene. Well, this is my first tour. A lot of these shows could be considered the first run of shows I've done. I'm trying to convince them to be on TikTok more, and they're teaching me how to be like an actual musician. I'm very new to this. I started music playing Like when I really started what I'm doing now, I started it while on the street corner with a broken ukulele. And I was horrible at that. And I'm having a little bit better of a go with the shows, but I'm still very new to it. I'm very, very nervous. Um, I've just been a bum for a very, very long time, and it's new getting paid to do it. I've been doing it for a very long time. It is new actually making money at it, kind of. But yeah,
Hey man, congratulations on that.
thank you.
Yeah. I think a lot of people strive to get to just be able to say that they pull in money from their art. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you're making music, who do you make it for primarily?
Myself.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah, we're not really trying to sound like anyone or like reach a certain audience. Just like a song comes out of him, and
And if I'm writing a song, I'm writing it because I need to write it. Whether there's something in me that I need to process or get out, or I make music that I want to hear, and I do it for myself, and I'm grateful other people happen to like it.
yeah,
Yeah, I when I write music, if it's not a funny song or anything, politically tinged or anything like that, I basically just stare at a blank piece of page and try to hurt my feelings. Um, yeah, it's very most of my songs are very personal. And I guess yeah, like you said, I write it because I feel like it's something that I needed to say to myself, something I needed to express. So I mostly write it for me, the better side of me.
So you've found that you can help yourself grow through creating this music.
Oh yeah.
I feel like not every song is this way, but there are one or two songs where I felt changed on the other side of it. Like Dance on the Ashes was one of the songs.
yeah,
Like on the other side of writing that song and having it come together, I felt like something had healed in me, or started healing anyway. I don't know if I'm healed or ever will be.
Feel a
But
little
that
bit better,
song,
huh?
like I wrote it and I felt like lighter and also so heavy at the same time. I still feel like crying when I play it.
you haven't yet.
Yeah, and not even in a bad way. I just am like, oh, it's a relief or something. And every once in a while, a song will actually just like change my brain a little bit. Ideally for the better.
Yeah, I had the same experience with Like a Broken Radio and Ugly Truths. Sometimes when I'm playing Ugly Truths, every once in a while, I still tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Like a Broken Radio and Ugly Truths literally changed me when I wrote it.
Yeah.
I was a little bit of a different person afterwards.
How important are the people you spend time with to what your music becomes? Primarily the people you're making music with.
I mean, really important to me. I greatly lack confidence and am riddled with self-doubt. And Brandi bounces that off, or bounces it out, rather.
Yeah,
But I feel like you just let me do what I need to do, and I bring you a song, and I just let you do what you need to do.
yeah.
And
Because we fill very different roles. Like he's very much a writer. Like these are both songwriters, whereas I'm a musician. I've written a handful of songs, and they're good songs, but I'm just not a writer. So
but I feel like you help bring like some life to what I've written.
What are some of the springboards in your life?
Well, you asked how important are the people you're writing with. Well, I'm 100% essential. It's just it's just
I love
me. So for writing, I write a lot. I try to write something every day. I also write poetry, so there's like 3 buckets things usually go into. I start writing something, it's a song. I start writing something, okay, that's a poetry song. Start writing something, that's either going to be a story to tell later or just something I need to work on. So that's the buckets. As far as interacting with other people, uh, being around musicians helps a lot, especially if they're a lot better than me at one aspect or the other, whether they're a better musician than me and they're teaching me stuff. I'm not afraid to be dumb or ask questions or seem dumb. I'm a student of everything and I
That's how you
always
learn.
will be. Yeah.
Nobody knows everything.
And you know, that like them just having better set lists, like even if we're at the same level or whatever, musically, them having knowing how to perform a set list better, knowing better banter, just there's never something I can't learn from somebody
Yeah.
usually. So just surrounding myself with musicians that are better than me in some aspect is extremely helpful.
Just taking little bits from everyone.
Yeah, I would second that.
Yeah.
I also being around musicians who are better than me because I am a songwriter, but I'm not a musician. I'm a songwriter who happens to play guitar, and being around other musicians also like sort of lights a fire in me where I'm like, wow, I wish I could do that, and I want to be better, and push myself to be better. But I don't know. I feel like this tour has been really mutually beneficial. Like you were saying a bit ago, teaching us, trying to get us on the TikTok.
Yeah.
You're learning how to tour. Like,
Still got to break out that spreadsheet, but yeah.
yeah,
absolutely.
No, I really do want the spreadsheet.
People have been telling us for years that we should get on TikTok and that we do well on there, but we don't know what the hell we're doing. Whereas you actually do know how to navigate TikTok.
It is helpful to have somebody that knows what to do and what not to do in a certain sense and kind of what flies better than other things.
Yeah.
But essentially,
And like how you can say fuck but not gay. Like how would I have known that?
yeah, you can't even say queer. But it really doesn't matter. You just need to start posting stuff.
Yeah.
Numbers will tell you in the beginning what's good and
Sure.
what's bad. After a certain point, though, you stop listening to the numbers.
Yeah,
'Cause
then it
they'll
just gets in your head.
Yeah, they will just make you feel horribly. As soon as like you get the hang of it, you feel you're good. You feel like you're good at talking to a camera. You feel like you're writing good scripts or talking about important things. Don't pay attention to the numbers. Keep doing what you like, and people will find you. If people
Sure.
found you before, people will find you again. So, yeah.
You guys are leading me in. So yeah, so the next thing is you're talking about playing with people and getting inspired by the people around you. What have you learned is unique to yourself? Sounds like we all know Les has got the TikTok thing rocking and rolling. But what other things have you found that are unique to yourself and the music that you create?
Shit, I gotta think about myself. Damn.
I mean, we could say just like our sound is unique in itself. Like we're not really sounding just like anyone else. Like it's a unique thing that we're doing. And like we're taking
And-
bits from everything, but like the way it comes together is its
Yeah.
own sound.
And part of that is because we don't desire to sound like anyone but us, while also acknowledging our influences. Like, we don't desire to sound like anyone, but part of it is because I don't know what the hell I'm doing musically. Like, I just do what sounds right to me. I don't have formal knowledge of music. And so also part of why our stuff doesn't sound like anyone is because I'm just doing weird shit sometimes. But it's all really simple weird shit. And I'm okay with that.
What's unique to you, Les?
What's unique to me? What isn't? I don't know.
Oh, actually, one more thing is I feel like there's not a lot of music that sounds like us in general, but also from Minnesota. Like most people doing Americana is from different areas. So like the Midwest folk, Midwest Americana is just a different feel.
Yeah.
Like we're not from the mountains. We're from the land of 10,000 lakes. Like it's just an inherently different experience that we're sharing.
Actually, that is something that I could harp on right there.
Yeah.
Real quick. I am from Georgia. I take a lot of inspiration from Georgian musicians and the history and culture I got raised in. But I also left town at a young age and started experiencing other different cultures all around me. And typically, when you think of country music and folk music, Americana, what have you. Um, People tend to think of the South, and the South is Texas and anything.
Appalachia.
Yeah, Texas and Appalachia. That's pretty much it. But there are tons and tons of modern and historic country and folk musicians from all parts of America. And I've learned to absorb what they have to say and their musical stylings into what I do. So yeah, that's pretty unique to me. I've been around a lot, and for better or worse, forced to interact with culture in different places and towns and stuff like that. I feel like that's present in my music.
Certainly.
Also, I guess homelessness is pretty unique to me. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not the only homeless person, Les.
I'm not sure. Have you checked? But no, there's a lot of musicians that have come from the streets and whatnot. But I feel like just in general, in media, music, visual art, what have you, people that have had that kind of experience are underrated. Underrated isn't the right word, but underviewed.
Yeah, undervalued.
Yeah.
So, what other genres of creation do you guys see helping move toward the same goal of not leaving that guy underrated? You know, like, are there you guys are out here using music to spread the great word, to spread the good word and whatnot? What other art have you seen? Does that make any kind of sense?
I think so.
Other people on the same mission.
But doing it through other mediums.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
Hmm?
Whoa!
Yeah.
It's 2024. We live in the digital age and the
Yeah.
age of videos. And honestly,
Yeah.
video making and editing and storytelling, I feel like, are a big way that people who would otherwise go unseen or unnoticed, like,
And other platforms
be
too, but
seen.
like TikTok specifically is really big for
yeah,
this moment.
yeah. I hate to sit here and seem like we're plugging TikTok because I don't even
We're not even
use
on there
TikTok
hardly.
like that.
But it is like a big thing
but,
in our
yeah.
culture right now.
There's something to say for the fact that, like, people who would otherwise be
Voiceless.
overlooked or unseen, like, get to be heard there.
That's why America wants to ban TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to like shout out other people on here, but if I am,
Yeah, totally. Whatever you got to say, you can
okay.
say loud and clear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, coming back to TikTok, like it seems to be doing. Troy, Anywhere Man Hobo on TikTok, is he is a musician. He sometimes says he's not, but he is a musician. He just doesn't write songs. But what he does is he just travels around, hops freight trains, hitching rides and stuff like that, and he kind of documents his life. And that's a different form of media representing that kind of story. And my girlfriend, Raincloud Rosie Art, she is a watercolor painter and comes from the same background and occasionally travels like that as well, either with me or without me. I'm old, it hurts now. But yeah, she does the same thing. She goes live, she watercolor paints, she talks to folks, and that's another media of telling your story.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. And it's also just like gives people glimpses into lives that they would never see or consider or know about. Just anybody can get a little bit of a glimpse into any kind of lifestyle through the world of like video sharing about your life. Like, I like that people are documenting their lives in this way, even if people want to gripe about social media. Like, a lot of people are exposed to all sorts of different lifestyles and backgrounds and ways of living that they just would never have even considered before. Yeah.
Also, I don't mean to stay on this subject, but just to clarify, because there are different forms of being housing insecure and houseless, homeless, however you want to put it. Generally, I have somewhere to stay. Abby the Spoon Lady, another shout out, has been housing me and my girlfriend while we try to get our stuff together. We've made trips here and there where we have been out on the street and all of that, but yeah, there's homeless destitution, like just there's nothing for you. You're trying to get a job, you can't because you're stuck in a cycle. And whatnot. I'm not in that place, just to be clear. I am housing insecure, but I'm not in that place anymore. Just to clarify.
How do you find your way out of something like that?
Oh. Honestly, I've gotten lucky multiple times. I don't want that to, discount any work I've done. I've worked really hard. And to find your way out of that, you're going to have to do that, and you're probably going to have to get really lucky as well. I don't know. For the majority of my life, I've been housing insecure, and for a lot of it, I've been just out on the street with hardly anything. And it seems like connections are the main thing.
Yeah.
People without safety nets, like I've had multiple times, you got to make connections and build safety nets and communities, people that care about you. And it's really hard to find sometimes, especially when you're out in the elements and they make you not the easiest person to be around all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to make those connections, but yeah, that's probably the number one thing that helps.
So what advice would you give to your younger self, musician or not?
For me, I would say start learning music theory earlier. I'm still not good at it, but stop having this delusion that it's going to cut off your creativity. I would say to stop smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
And amongst other things I've done before, actually, but that and learn music theory and invest in Google, depending on how far we're going.
How far back we're going.
Yeah, I feel like learning music theory is real. Or at least not thinking of art as something that has to be done as a hobby. Thinking of it as something that can be my life. I wish I had thought that way earlier on. The first thing that came to my mind when you asked that, and this is not even necessarily related to art or creativity, was to not get caught up in resentment. That was the first thing that came to my mind. I have just
That's
stifled
huge.
myself for years through resentment and self-doubt. And it has made me bitter and jaded at times, and it has made me the least ideal versions of myself at times. And I just wish I had known beforehand to just let shit go. And I'm not saying let people walk all over you or nothing like that, but I stewed in anger for so long when I could have been growing or creating or being. So that was the first thing that came to mind when you said that, which is not
No, that's beautiful.
maybe career related, but man, yeah.
If I could add one more thing, if I could tell this to any musician, whether it be my past self or any other musician or artist, throw yourself out into the water. Just post it, that whatever. If you don't like it later, you can delete it.
Yeah.
Just make it.
We've definitely done that.
Do it.
Yeah.
Same, but just do it. I played a show that I wasn't very happy with last night, but I learned from it, and that's all you have to do is learn from it, and then you can just move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was a lot of work to get to that point with your creative process. What was to just accept it and to learn from it? How long did it take you to not stew?
Shouts out to my therapist.
I should call her. But actually, um, oh my gosh, I don't know how long it took me. I stewed for years.
Yeah, years.
Of stewing. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we had to move to a different place and just like be away from everything for a while for you to work
But
through
also
shit.
realizing that like going somewhere different didn't change my internal experience.
Yeah.
It changed the environment and allowed room for me to start working on my internal experience, but like
Running away doesn't
the
help.
shit I was carrying inside just kept on coming with me.
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, yeah, years of feeling pitiful about myself, angry about things, regretting things. It's like, there's no point in regretting because it's happened. Just learn and move on. But I mean, I couldn't even, I probably am still, there are things I still stew on now, if I'm being completely honest. I'm more aware now, and I maybe catch myself better, but I don't know. It really was years before I even realized that I was the one holding myself up. And I'm still fighting against that all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still struggle with resentment and holding stuff in. I still, I need a new therapist. But, I still, replay everything I did wrong with every single show. I've had great shows, amazing shows, and I'm still just like, what did I do wrong? Why did I do that there? Why didn't I say this? Why didn't I do this? I still worry about that. I still get overheated about it too. So.
Another piece is just like deciding to believe that I deserve it, that I deserve to feel good or better or do what I want or pursue what makes me feel good. Like, I don't know. You have to believe you deserve good things if you want good things.
Yeah.
And that's hard to get to that point. But I'm there now. I do believe I deserve good things, and that allows me to keep working and moving.
I'm trying to get there. I'm really trying to get there.
Takes time.
Might have a few new songs about my journey getting there.
How does the creative process help you in this journey?
Well, I've written a lot of songs that are definitely pity parties. A lot of songs that have no personal growth to them, just talking about how I'm mad at somebody, or specifically being mad at myself or sad with myself.
But that's part of the human experience, you know?
It is, but I feel like at this part of my creative process, sometimes it's felt like I've been writing about a past person or write about myself. So a lot of the songs I'm coming with forward are still about that, but trying to show like an actual progression. And my headspace has just changed, and I've gotten better, and I want to write about that. I want to write about if I've gotten worse too. You know,
Yeah.
Writing my songs is, I'm not a philosopher, anybody to take serious, but writing my songs is like staring into a mirror a lot of the time, and I do learn a lot from that.
I also just find the creative process brings me a lot of clarity, especially when my mind is really muddied. To sit down and create really slows things down and brings clarity to my mind, especially writing specifically, but even just playing music, like it's a good somatic experience. And on the other side, I'm like I'm okay.
So where can people find you? Social medias. I know you all have them.
Where are we?
Well,
I'm on the porch right now.
we're on Instagram and Facebook. As far as the music, you can find it about anywhere but SoundCloud.
I'm everywhere except for where I shouldn't be. Yeah, on the internet, just pretty much everywhere. Spotify, Patreon,
Tic Tac.
TikTok, biggest platform, TikTok, Facebook.com, Instagram, YouTube, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
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 Not Snapchat.
We're
Don't
on
look
all
for
those
me there.
places. We're even on Snapchat, but that's just for a person.
Not as
life.
not as
Not
Pine
as
and
Pine and
Fire.
Fire, so don't try and add us on the Snapchat. But yeah, no, we're all over the internet. We also have a website, pineandfiremusic.com. We try to keep our shows up to date on there.
So if you don't have the social medias and you want to find us, you can go to the website.
Yeah, we've got
That's
shows
fancy.
on there. You can find our
Yeah.
merch through there. That's about it. Some nice pictures of us here and there.
We have nice pictures.
Yeah, I put them on. Oh, you just mean in general.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
we're awkward in front of a camera.
We're awkward.
I'm
We're-
just,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah,
You could take the camera away. We'll still be awkward.
It's true.
I think that's part of our charm, though. We've
Yeah,
sort of leaned into that.
It really helps the banter on stage, honestly.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I used to be like, we need to be slick and stoic, but I don't know. We're goofy and awkward, and also we can still be real and taken seriously. And I think people have grown to like that.
I think
That's-
people just appreciate authenticity. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Mhm.
I think that's huge.
Yeah,
And that makes a
especially
huge
in this
difference.
scene, because like folk music is raw acoustic thing. Like it's supposed to be authentic and real.
Yeah, I'm a silly guy.
Yeah,
I'm a silly guy. I like being a silly guy. I don't want to inflate myself. I never want to try to come off as bigger than I am. I'm hoping that if you listen to my music and listen to my story, that'll speak for itself. If you think I'm silly because I say a dad joke or something, that's on you. I feel like my music's serious enough. I
Yeah.
have space to be a silly guy.
absolutely.
There are
Yeah.
multiple truths, Les.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna play "Dance on the Ashes."
It's one of the songs you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. This is one of those songs that did something good for my brain. Goes like this. Who I was yesterday is already gone. And who I am today isn't who I'll be for long. I have been so hurt, and I've been strung along. And I have been the one to make things go wrong. I have been the one to make things go wrong. And I have lost some people who I loved and adored over unresolved feelings from what came before. On my end and theirs, and even on yours, we all carry something that we didn't ask for. We all carry something that we didn't ask for. Sometimes I feel so small that I can't get out of bed. And other times I feel like the best that's ever lived. But most of the time I'm somewhere in between. Take my good with the bad and hope that I find peace. Take my good with the bad and hope that I find peace. See, I ain't upset, no, not anymore. 'Cause that's not what living and dying is for. I screamed and I cried, I swore and I yearned. Then I danced on the ashes of the bridges that I burned. I danced on the ashes of the bridges that I burned. Ooh. Oh yeah.
All right. This is one of them songs that changed me. I'm really good at drinking. This is a song about how I'm trying to get worse at it. It's called Like a Broken Radio. Well, sometimes I can't sleep without pause and drink. Liquid lullabies singing me to sleep. And I lay down and I watch the time. It's much past 12. Got too much on my mind. And I've kicked some habits, Lord, they've kicked back. Through the gaps of time that's in my mind, it's been hard to keep track. There's something in my dreams makes monster I can't fight. Sometimes without a drink, be swinging fist all night. 'Cause I can't stop, this train won't slow down. Like a broken radio, playing God awful sounds. My ship is sinking low, hands around my throat. Pour another one from the bottle, just to keep me afloat. And I looked up to my daddy, but he lived in a shot glass. Stumble around howling, he can still kick your ass. Said, son, you gotta learn, well, I'm the worst of role models. Take from me in turn, go chasing them old balls. He's a better man now, I can't say the same. Still love to be like him, here I sit in shame. So I'll lay here and sweat this liquor off my breath, before I come stumbling back to you, just to swear I'm trying my best. 'Cause I can't stop, this train won't slow down. Like a broken radio, playing God awful sounds. My ship is sinking low, hands around my throat. Pour another one from the bottle, just to keep me afloat. All right, now it's beer 30.